Welcome to the weekly Middle East Vigil service, our cyclic endeavor on behalf of this area of the world. Welcome to the service. Talking to people about West Asia, I realize that the common perception of the area is that this area is mostly an Arab area, Muslim, and that it could be bundled in our minds into a single uniform block called the Middle East in West Asia. I encounter this perception in many people. And as we know, it is far from being one story. And I will try to share with you some of my understandings, as usual, in a non-expert way, in a nutshell, and adapted to my understanding. So when we see the region civilization-wise, it sits on top of several civilizational cores. And what I wrote down for myself is the three civilization cores. One, the Islamic Arab civilization, which is unified by the Arabic language. By the way, the Quran is read in Arabic everywhere in all the Islamic world. So this Islamic Arab civilization unified by the Arabic language and by Islamic culture. And if we try to put this civilization, to put it into places that we are acquainted with, and so we find it in Egypt, in the Levant, which is Lebanon, Syria, Jordan, Israel, and the Palestinian territories, and part of southern Turkey, in the Gulf area, in Iraq. And the second one would be the Persian civilization, which is centered in Iran and is rooted in pre-Islamic cultures. And it maintains a clear, distinct literary culture and cultural and political identity. It is Islamic, but it is not Arabized. And the language that unites this Persian civilization is the Farsi language and the culture. And the third core would be the Turkic Ottoman civilization based on Turkey. And it's shaped by the Ottoman Empire and blends Central Asia, Islamic, and European influences. The language is Turkish. The nationwide language is Turkish. You have also Kurdish in the southeast, and you have Arabic along the Syrian border. And there are other regional languages like, for instance, Zaza, Armenian, some Greek, some Ladino, but they are all minor. And then you have the Jewish Israelite civilization, which has been revived in Israel based on Hebrew tradition. So it's the language and the the modernized national identity that we know since the end of World War I, maybe a little bit before World War I. So those are the three major ones. And there are also the Kurdish which are spread across multiple countries. It's a civilization, and it's a language. And then you have the Armenians and Assyrians and other minorities. The whole region is dominated by Islam that is not uniform. You have the majority are Sunni, the Sunni Islam. Then you have the Shia Islam that are dominant in Iran and also present in Iraq and Lebanon, and many, many other Islamic factions. This religious divide shapes politics. So politics are based on different sources than we understand, in the area. So instead of the Middle East being one block, we can think of it being a crossroad, as we often mentioned, where Arab, Persian, Turkish, and other histories intersect. Where, and this is very important, Islam connects, but it also divides. And where identities overlap in intricate ways. It's a layered network of civilizations sharing a common space. This is why alliances shift constantly and sometimes unexpectedly. And conflicts are not simple to understand. And as I said before, identity is usually involved in politics. This is why political mentalities are different than, for instance, the European American way of perceiving situations. And that there is a great need to bridge between those different perceptions and to get to a place where we can mentally come together towards each other for the best of all involved and create a world of cooperation. When I'm thinking of all that, it's really trying to get to some kind of unity in the fantastic diversity of the area. So friends, this is really a course overview of this rich complexity of this area that we spoke about so often. And we spoke regarding different nations that we focused on that make the news in the world. So this is what I have to share today. And I send you blessings for our common work. And I bless every one of us for our common work. Thank you. Over to you, Efrat.
Thank you, Helen. Hi, good evening, dear friends. Tonight, I would like to share with you, to tell you about the conference that took place at the end of April in Jerusalem under the title, It is a Time. And this conference was attended by about 80 organizations, Jewish and Arab, young and old people. The It's Time Peace Conference brought together activists, policymakers, and public figures to promote renewed efforts toward resolving the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. It emphasized the urgency of restarting meaningful negotiation after years of political stagnation. Speakers, Jewish and Arab, highlighted the human, economic, and moral cost of continuing the conflict. The conference called for a two-state solution as the most viable path forward. Participants stressed the importance of international involvement and support. The civil organization played a central role in shaping the agenda and discussion. There was a strong focus on building trust between the two sides through dialogue and cooperation. Youth voices and grassroots initiative were present as key drivers of future change. Criticism of current political leadership was expressed for failing to advance peace effort. Overall, the event aimed to create momentum and public pressure to make peace a national priority. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Efrat, for sharing a little bit of hope, and Helen for a deep overview in broad strokes. Okay, so let us do our work, settle in our body. Touching into our space, inner space, silent space of peacefulness. Breathing peace for a moment in our own selves. Feeling our heart between the shoulder blades. Making sure that harmlessness lives in it. Let's gather our mental forces in the center of the head, bring them into a focus. And adopt an inclusive planetary perspective. Standing as the soul in incarnation, in the will to love. Coming together now on a mountaintop overlooking the world. Our hearts are united. And our minds become one mental field. We stand soul to soul, all together with our soul-guided brothers and sisters around the globe as the Ajna center of the planet, silent watcher. And so we watch, we observe for a moment the struggling humanity under the influence of these huge forces in motion of this ending age and the coming in of the new energies. And let us focus in on West Asia, on this place of extreme tension. Getting a sense of these civilizations, nations, religious factions, all with their own identities. With the different motives and interests that are clashing here in the Middle East with such high intensity. And we see the emotional reactions to that. A veritable solar plexus arena in continuous turmoil, like a chronic inflammation in the emotional body of the planet. Just observing this situation and also the physical destruction, this whole very dynamic process ongoing all the time, and especially now. And we just stand on our mountaintop together with all those who truly care and impartially serve. Taking a moment to just hold the situation, hold our brothers and sisters in West Asia in our heart. We do our transmutive work now, standing on the mountaintop as a world group. We draw a line of light upwards towards hierarchy, the planetary heart. Linking in with our higher co-workers, with their love, sensing them standing with us. And together with them, continuing the line towards Shambhala, planetary head. And taking a moment now, making our consciousness receptive to the destiny, the intended design for West Asia in this friction zone between East and West. And let us just visualize this process that sometime needs to be done, from violent conflict gradually and steadily transforming into a field of creative tension. Affirming this violent conflict transforming into a field of creative tension. Let us invoke the Lords of Liberation to help us with this process. Let the lords of liberation issue forth. Let them bring succor to the sons of men. Let the rider from the secret place come forth, and coming save. Come forth, Almighty One. Let the souls of men awaken to the light, and may we stand with masked intent. Let the fiat of the Lord go forth, the end of woe has come. Come forth, Almighty One. The hour of service of the saving force has now arrived. Let it be spread abroad, Almighty One. Let light and love and power and death fulfill the purpose of the coming one. The will to save is here. The love to carry forth the work is widely spread abroad. The active aid of all who know the truth is also here. Come forth, Almighty One, and blend these three. Construct a great defending wall. The rule of evil now must end. See and sense a shaft of pure golden white light, broad and brilliant, flood West Asia. See a huge column of light pouring through all plains. Hold this column steady in the will to peace. See soul light flooding the mental plane of the Middle East. See soul light pouring into the astral plane of the Middle East. See soul light pouring into the etheric physical plane of the Middle East, penetrating into the earth. Joining with the Devic forces, cleansing the ancient records of evil sharing. Dissolving and purifying them, opening the way to the recognition that every human life is sacred and humanity is one. Through the heart of the coming one, let us visualize synthesis energy pouring into West Asia. Through each nation, each civilization, each ethnic group, each religious group. Showing the way forward into unity. Visualize the principle of the highest good of all, silently impressing the awakening souls, guiding humanity on the way from solar plexus dynamics into the heart. Let us affirm this as we sound the great invocation in Hebrew, Farsi, and Arabic, sending it out, this pattern of higher order, sending it out into all these different civilizational, cultural fields.
מנקודת האור אשר בדעת אל, יזרום האור אל דעת האדם. ירד האור על פני האדמה. מנקודת האהבה אשר בלב האל, תזרום האהבה אל לבבות אנוש. ישוב מורה עולם על פני האדמה. המרכז שבו נודע רצון האל, תנחה תכלית את רצונות אדם, תכלית אותה מורי האנושות יודעים ומשרתים. מהמרכז אשר נקרא המין האנושי, תוגשם תוכנית האהבה והאור, ויחתם הפתח אל הרע. יהי רצון, ויחדשו אור אהבה ועוצמה, את התוכנית על פני האדמה. אמן.
از نقطه نور در ذهن خداوند بگذار نور در ذهن انسانها جریان یابد. بگذار نور به زمین فرود آید. از نقطه عشق در قلب خداوند بگذار عشق در قلب انسانها جریان یابد. بگذار مسیح به زمین بازگردد. از مرکزی که در آن اراده خداوند شناخته شده است بگذار هدف اراده های کوچک انسانها را راهنمایی کند. هدفی که استادان می دانند و خدمت می کنند. از مرکزی که ما آن را نژاد انسان می نامیم بگذار نقشه عشق و نور کارگر افتد و در به سوی دنیای تاریکی را ببندد. بگذار نور و عشق و قدرت نقشه زمین را بازسازی کنند.
من نقطة النور في العقل الإلهي ليشع النور في عقول الناس وليهبط النور إلى الأرض. من نقطة الحب في القلب الإلهي ليتسرب الحب إلى قلوب الناس وليرجع معلم الكون إلى الأرض. من المركز الذي تعرف منها إرادة الله لتقود الغاية إرادة الناس البسيطة، تلك الغاية والتي يدركها المعلمون ويخدمونها. من المركز الذي نظن بالجنس البشري لينتج تسمين الحب والنور ويختم على الباب الذي يقيم به الشر، ليجدد النور والحب والقوة التسمين على الأرض. الله أمين.